Hello everyone, Atrum here, and I'm doing another Legacy Cube. And looking through this pack, so, few things. First off, Valdakin Shackles is nearly unmatched in power level in this, so it's probably the pick. But let's look at the other cards before we make a final decision. Walroot's decent but not good enough. Garrick could be very good. Planeswalkers are very powerful in this format, but Valdakin Shackles is better. Hutmaster, very powerful. Sun Titan, very, very powerful. Almost extremely powerful. But Valdakin Shackles, again, better than Sun Titan. Anger, Nantuko Shade, Spear, Temple, etc., etc., etc. Nothing else matches Valdakin Shackles. We're taking the Shackles. That's pretty much... If you see Shackles, you're most likely taking Shackles. Now we have some choices here. If we want to do blue-white control, we can grab Sphinx's Revelation. If we want to do like a blue-red, Shackles generally makes you more of a controlling deck. Blue-red, you pick up Keranos. Want to stay undecided, you pick up Mana Leak. Or you want to go black, you pick up Far and Away. It's very interesting. I don't know. It might just be Revelation. It could be Keranos, though, because Keranos is very powerful. It's definitely a choice between those two when it comes down to it, and I think I'm going to go with the Rev. Alright, let's see what we got going on here. So, triple Planeswalkers in Jund colors. Cryptic Command, stick with the heavy blue, though. Archangel Thune's pretty solid. Terminus, solid. But I think if you want to stick with the heavy blue, you gotta go with the Cryptic Command here. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Cryptic. Okay, this gives us a few options. I could pick up Detention Sphere and stick with the blue-white for now. There's Wake Thrasher for more aggressive plays, but I'm not really... Again, these two cards don't necessarily lean towards aggressive plays. And there's Forbid as the repeatable counterspell. I think I'm going to take the... It's awkward having Detention Sphere in the same pack as Abrupt Decay. But just because Abrupt Decay, you know, kills the... Anyways, we're going to take the Detention Sphere. Well, the options in this aren't the greatest, but mostly a bunch of junk. Could take Temple of Deceit. I mean, it's a land that fixes with blue in it. Could take Lockdown Warhammer, but I don't have any creatures yet. Could take, like, Riftwing Cloudscape. That thing's fine. Prophetic Bolt's good. Man, it doesn't really matter, I don't think. I'm going to take the Temple of Deceit on that one. Could do, like, Bant with Avenger Zendikar. That card's just insane. Or I could do, like, Future Sight, which could be very good for me. Reflecting Pool can be fine. Shivan Reef can be decent. I think it's between Future Sight and Avenger. And I think I'm going to take the Future Sight in order to keep myself more open, which, even though Future Sight isn't technically keeping you open because it's purple blue, but since blue is my heavy color with Shackles, I think I'm taking the Future Sight. It leaves me still the option to splash into a third color without just going all in on like something like Avenger. Alright, so our options here... We could pick up Young Pyromancer, who's really solid. Could pick up... There's a Kozilek, but I don't think we're playing that. That requires you to be a ramp deck, really and truly. Could pick up Temple of Malady and go like bug colors, at which point I still have white cards, which makes that awkward. Could take Lurgoyf, or not Lurgoyf, Tarmogoyf, obviously. Tarmogoyf is a Lurgoyf. And Tarmogoyf's a powerful enough early guy. Why not? Let's take him. Leaves me options, I guess. Like, I can take Trigon Predator, which is solid, and it's solid against Valdaken Shackles, and it's something I can play with the colors now. It means this Temple of Deceit's basically just an island, but, you know, whatever. Trigon Predator gives us some outs to things that hit the board, which is nice, so... Let's see what comes back from the first pack. Temple of Epiphany, which is fine. And no other card that I particularly want. Well, we'll take the Temple. It's basically just another blue Scryland. The problem with those is they reduce the island count towards Valdaken Shackles. Which means they're probably not going to get played, at which point I'm just cutting someone else's mana fixing. But, you know, whatever. We'll work with it. Okay, that's a fairly reasonable sign that blue-red's open. Keranos is still straight up insane. But if I want to do Bant, I could do Council's Judgment. Or I could still just splash for Keranos. I think I'd do that. Just kind of move this back over. Because Keranos is just nuts. I mean, he's definitely more beatable in Cube than other formats, but he's insane. And there's a Terminus, so that gives us a board wipe. So we're kind of blue with some white and a little red. And some green right now. And a little of this and a little of that. Just kind of keep mixing it until you get it all to some point that you can use it. I guess we take Wake Thrasher. I mean, I don't need a Cetessan Tactics. Maybe take Flame Slash? Kills a lot of stuff. Alright, let's take a Flame Slash. We'll see what happens. Just a removal spell, really. Ancient Grudge for the sideboard? Sure, why not? Spike Shot Elder. I'm hoping not to be heavy in the red. I mean, I don't mind going heavier into red and maybe like cutting the green. The green's definitely cuttable. I mean, Tarmogoyf, though extremely powerful, is not an end-all, be-all, I must play this card. And the Pyromancer kind of helps seal the red deal. For now, I'm going to move these here and kind of look at this in like an American control, or Jeskai, or however you want to say it. Gideon is nuts. Jace Bellerin is really good. There's three lands I want, which is rough because I'd like all of them. If I pass Gideon, though, he's not coming back to me. If I pass Jace, he's probably not coming back. If I pass this Volcanic Island, it could come back. Could. Probably won't, but could. But I think I'm going to take the Gideon just because of how powerful he is. Could take Geist of Saint Traft. That's a win con, right? Or I could take like Day of Judgment as another Wrath effect. It's probably one of these two. Compulsive Research is fine. Phantasmal Image, fine. Misery Mortars is fine. I think since I'm playing a more controlling deck with Shackles, I want Day of Judgment over Geist of Saint Traft. Though Geist of Saint Traft is, again, extremely powerful, I think I'd rather have the Wrath effect. Okay, I can take Supreme Verdict here. Deceiver Etchark is reasonable if you can find the Splinter Twin for it. Maybe I take that and just hope to see if I find the Splinter Twin come around. Give me an extra win con. Do I need another Wrath effect right this second? Probably not. Do I need Splinter or Deceiver Etchark? Not if I don't find Splinter Twin. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I know, right? It's like, really? Just take the Wrath effect. Okay, fine. Okay, so from here we have some options. We have Serum Visions, and we have Flame Tongue Kavu. Those are really our options here. I suppose it all depends on how much you want into the other colors, obviously. Serum Visions is just a solid scry and draw, or draw and scry. Flame Tongue Kavu is a removal spell suited up to a creature. So, you know, it's Flame Slash on a creature. Probably actually worth it. Yeah, let's take him. Whatever. I have Infinite Wrath effects and Flame Tongue Kavu, and, you know, for some reason I have a Pyromancer just thrown in there, but we'll figure that one out eventually. Okay, so with this we have a few options. We have Perforos, which I'm probably not going to take. We have Gilded Lotus, which is fine. Augur of Bolas could be very powerful. Sphere of Suns is fine. Boros Charm is fine. Wall of Omens is probably the pickup, though. It's definitely hurting the Veldaken Shackles by having less blue, but obviously I still have triple blues here, which means I just gotta work on the fixing, really, after this. Guess we'll take a Wall of Omens. Baneslayer or Thassa. Or Windswept Heath. Baneslayer, Thassa, or Windswept Heath. I think it has to be the Baneslayer because the thing is just nuttily powerful. Right? Doesn't it? Yeah, it's going to be the Baneslayer. Okay. Well, there's Eternal Dragon, which I guess is a way recurring win con that you can just keep plane cycling. Probably gonna grab Brimstone. Well, Zola's conscripts can just win games out of nowhere. Yeah, let's just take Azella's Conscripts. Seems fine. Getting to that high level of 5 drops again. Somehow I end up in blue, white, red again. What the hell? I try to make these things unique and then suddenly I end up in the same color combo. I don't get that. It's weird. Obviously the deck's much different this time from the last time, but I ended up in a very heavy control build this time, instead of like a moderate heavy with a lot of planeswalkers. Okay, so the volcanic island didn't come back around, which I guess makes sense. We do get to pick up a plateau, which helps a lot. So we'll take that, obviously, at that point. Would have been nice if the volcanic island had definitely come around, but whatever. Figure it out as you go, I suppose. These shackles are interesting because they're so much better if you're so heavy in blue, but I've started to lose the focus on the blue, so it's definitely, it's becoming interesting. Like here I take Elysium Mortars and my blue is just dying on me. At the end, Veldaken Shackles could go from having been like #1 first pick to something I throw in the sideboard and just say, well, alright, I have a Shackles. We'll have to see what the last pack brings, obviously, but it's definitely interesting how this is transformed so heavily. Okay, I can take this Deceiver Etch Arc. Maybe we'll still find that Splinter Twin just floating around somewhere. Or even like Kiki Jiki, because I think he's also in the cube. Don't want to... Okay, so undergoing the thought that this is going to drop, do I want like a Mana Tithe, which is more like a tempo play, or do I want Coral Helm Commander? I think I want the Mana Tithe, actually. It's hard to say, because the double blue is going to be hard on me early on now. Which means Future Sight's probably going to get a cut too here. Cryptic I still keep just because Cryptic is a nutty card. Boros Charm's fine. Killing Fiend or an Ajani. Guess I can take the Ajani. He doesn't do a whole heck of a lot, but you know, I can take him. Throw that in the sideboard. In the sideboard, I said. Silliness. So this has become interesting. Definitely a control deck, but hard to say exactly where I'm going with it. Can take Path to Exile here, or like Crater's Claws is another win con, or Kaiga, or Flicker Wisp, or even Figure of Destiny. But he's much more of an aggressive creature. But I am going to have a lot of red-white mana. So I think the options are one of these four. I don't think it's the Thoran Dynamo, so actually I would add Exalted Angel back to that, because Exalted Angel can be just nuts with how cheap its morph cost is. So I'd say these are my five, I guess, but four really. Probably cut Figure from that, at which point I'm down to these three to choose from, and it's definitely between, like, I think these two. I think I want it either the X-Spell to finish off an opponent or the Path, and I think I'm going to take the X-Spell to finish off the opponent. Okay, I can pick up an Ash Cloud Phoenix here. That's not a bad card. It's actually pretty reasonably playable. Shadow Mage Infiltrator is fun, but not in our color combo. Gifts and Given doesn't do crap for us. Daze is kind of weak, so let's take an Ash Cloud Phoenix. I'll probably move this Mana Tithe out. I don't think I'll end up using it. Snapcaster Mage seems fun. So does Dig Through Time and Remand and Journey to Nowhere. Okay, so we got 4 cards in this pack to look at. Since we have Revelation, we probably don't need Dig Through Time. Snapcaster is very nice to have. Remand is a very nice spell, and Journey to Nowhere is solid. I can probably cut this Ajani because he doesn't do a lot for our deck. I mean, he does some interesting stuff. Like, I guess he combos a little bit with Gideon Jura, but I think it's going to really be between Snapcaster and Snapcaster. That's about the best way to put it. I think it's going to be between Snapcaster and Snapcaster. Okay. This pack brings me some options. Stoke the Flames, Counterspell, Glacial Fortress, Temple of Triumph. I think I like the blue-white fixing more than I like a burn spell or a counter spell right now. So I think that's what I'm going to take. Okay. I get to take Sensei's Divining Top with this, which is just nuts for us. Fire and Ice would be great too, but I think Sensei's Divining Top is definitely the pickup. I'm going to stick that over in my X spell pile. So, definite cuts in this can be Deceiver, Etchark, and Zealous Conscripts, unless we hit one of the 2 cards that makes them go into infinite combo mode, at which point, obviously, you keep them, because why not have free wins in your deck if you get free wins? So far, this is interesting. Meloku's good. Impulse is pretty decent. Storm Breath is a solid finisher. Lightning Helix is a good removal spell. Temple of Enlightenment is even good for us right now. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reasonable picks here. Our card draw is kind of weak, so I'm actually almost favoring like Impulse, actually, which is really awkward. But our card draw is actually pretty weak, and I feel like we could use more of it. Storm Breath, we probably don't need another finisher right now. Meloku's also a finisher. I think I'm going to take the Impulse. Okay, Ponder or Incinerate. Again, my card draw is Sensei's Divining Top, which is only pseudo card draw. Impulse, Wall of Omens, Cryptic Command, Keranos, and Sphinx's Rev. So I'm going to take the Ponder. And we get Kiki Jiki. Well, it looks like we're definitely playing these two guys for our infinite combo wins. So, definitely makes the mana base a little more awkward with triple blue and triple red in it. But, you know, and double white all over the place. The mana base on this is going to be awkward as all hell. I'll have to start thinking about what things I should cut here in just a moment. Okay, the Exalted Angel came back to us. That's another good solid finisher. Or at least pseudo finisher. Well, now we're a combo control deck. I think I can cut the Eternal Dragon. I don't think I'll need it. I am going to have to cut 2 more cards by the looks of it. At which point I have to consider which cards get the cut. I don't know. Bident Gifts. I don't really care for any of this. So we'll take this one. Alright. Actually, Exalted Angel is probably going to get a cut here. Because it doesn't really do enough for us. And I don't need any of this, so we'll take the land. Let's see. So we're at 24 right now, so we have to cut 1 more. Pyromancer's giving us an extra way to win aside from Kiki. And Baneslayer and some other stuff. Probably could cut 1 of the 3 Wrath effects. Stoke the Flames is actually a fine removal spell. Which means I'm probably going to keep it over something else too. So the real question is uncounterability worth the blue mana? I think the answer is yes. I don't care about any of these. Okay. Wow, Meloku came back? Dang. That's actually a card I'm going to keep as well. Holy crap. Alright. What I'm probably going to have to do is take this all apart and then slowly put it back together piece by piece by piece. And figure it out from there. So let's do that. Let's take out all the non-land cards, sort them into converted mana cost, and play this piece by piece by piece. So we get Divining Top. We get Ponder. We want to make certain we work on the combo pieces first because the combo is our little win con. So we're going to want things that draw us cards, primarily, to start off with. There's a combo piece. That goes over there. I said it goes over this, away, a ways. There, just stick it off to the side. Things that help towards the combo, that protects the combo, that can draw cards, that's the combo as well. And then now let's look at things that help protect us while we work towards comboing. So we want removal spells, burn spells mainly. We want ways to remove opponent's threats. We'd like a Wrath or 2. or 3. Wrath or 2 or 3. We'd like some backup win cons. So this has us at 20 cards so far. This is a removal spell. This is another backup win con. Do I want that one? So we have 13. Young Pyromancer's not bad in here. Probably take Young Pyromancer. And then take one more card, which is probably like Stoke the Flames? Or maybe it's Maloku. Or it could be. So things that I'm actually considering for this last spot. Not that. I think all 4 of these are under consideration for this last spot. Now, worth noting, I think, at least I think it's worth noting, Future Sight technically is a card draw mechanic and works awesomely with Sensei's Divining Top. The triple blue is a bitch for us, but I think it's the card I'm going to take. But now I'm over by 1 too. How'd I end up over by 1? Alright, so I got cut another. Oh, because I put the Stoke the Flames in. Stoke the Flames is nice and works actually and has good synergy with Pyromancer actually. So let's cut one other card. I think it's going to be one of my Wrath effects, since I already have a 4-mana Wrath effect, and this is hopefully a 1-mana Wrath effect whenever I want to use it. I think this should work out fine. Let's see what it says for my mana base. It says 5/5/4. That does not seem right. Let's do a count. So let's get out my little sticky notes. Lovely little function on my computer, honestly. Okay, so symbols in our deck. We have blue, white, or white, blue, and red. Our white symbols are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Our blue symbols are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then our red symbols are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So our red symbols have the most over our... So for some reason, it seems to think my white symbols should have more for some reason. Now when you look at our lands produce 2 white, 2 red, and 2 blue. So our lands produce it straight up even. So if I had to do this, I would take their 5/5/5/4, swap it to like that. Because my white's my least populous color in my deck. So I'll submit like that, and we'll see how this works in round 1.